You told the young global leaders in Zermatt in 2005, the 70 countries we were from, you told us that we were global citizens. I don't think I got it back then. I get it now. It was a very spiritual statement. It's sometimes very hard to see your emotions, but I see it in your wife. Hilda is your heart. And I see it in this statement, we're global citizens. I'm not an American, you're not Swiss German, you're not Norwegian, you're my brother from another mother. You're not Finnish, you're not South African, we're global citizens. And what does that mean? Our Archbishop once said, religion is like a knife. You can use the knife to butter bread and feed the poor. Or you can use that knife to cut the arm off on your brother. Same knife. Capitalism and free enterprise is not evil. It's the abuse of capitalism and free enterprise. It's the greed. And it's also can be used for good things, can be used to uplift people. It's helped to bring several hundred million people out of poverty in China and India and other places. Wells Fargo in America used responsible subprime lending to lift poor people out of poverty and turned away from irresponsible subprime lending. So you can do well and do good. But Quincy Jones said it takes 20 years to change a culture. I thought about that. The last 20 years, we've made dumb sexy. All around the world, dumbed down is cool and sexy. In the next 20 years, we need to make smart sexy again. We need to make dignity sexy. We need to make being a global citizen sexy. We need to have values and morals and principles sexy. We need to flip the script. If it takes 20 years to change a culture, what have we been doing in the last 20 years? We can create laws and rules, and there'll be regulations in response to this global economic crisis, but there's been greed since the beginning of time. What's going to change is us. The values, what do we believe? Who are we? What do we stand for? Is it about money? Is it about me, or is it about we? Last point, which is why I thought going in this classroom, which we did 2 days ago, Archbishop Tutu and us, we went in this classroom and taught this course in dignity, and we thought we were teaching something, but these kids here in Davos taught us, actually. That's the next 20 years. That's the next 20 years. In many ways, we failed. This generation has failed. But rainbows after storms. You cannot have a rainbow without a storm first. What does the next 20 years look like, and what are we teaching? What do we stand for? Last point. So, America, I'm proud to be an American, but we've made a lot of mistakes. We've screwed up. Probably our best time was after the Great Depression for 20 years. A lot of social reform, a lot of modernization, a lot of great ideas, the power of the idea. And then the Marshall Plan after World War II. So who are our greatest allies today? Japan and Germany. Who do we rebuild? Japan and Germany. What great economies are there in the world today? Two of them are Japan and Germany. They rebuilt, they repaid their loan, they served humanity, they're great allies, they're doing well and doing good. That was doing well and doing good. That was good policy, good capitalism, good humanity, and that was probably America's best time. We can do that again. And I think that that's really what my message is today, if I have one, is that we've got to be more than about me. We've got to be about we, and we've got to see it's in our enlightened self-interest to reach out to our brother, as the Archbishop has said. This is not a goody two-shoes conversation. This is not a we are the world conversation. This is enlightened self-interest. And so I think that that's it. It's the power of the idea. Klaus, you didn't wake up one morning and say, I want to be rich and powerful. You said, I have an idea called the World Economic Forum. When I see you today, you're as excited today about the idea as you were when you started it. You know, Bill Gates didn't wake up and say, I want to be rich and powerful. Steve Jobs, rich and powerful. Branson of Virgin, rich and powerful, he said, I got an idea. Got an idea. The Archbishop said, I have an idea. Oprah Winfrey said, I have an idea. And those ideas, yeah, made them rich and powerful, but that was never their goal. We got to get back to the power of the idea. And the idea is that we are great. And everybody can be great because everybody can serve. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Pekka, do you want to add something?
Thank you, first of all, for the really powerful moral message that you gave us today, to Archbishop Tutu. I think that when we are talking about creating a more dignified world as a larger goal, kind of not looking only at 2009 and the financial and economic crisis, I picked three challenges, major challenges that we are facing. And I heard Archbishop Tutu also giving a very practical message. First of all, we are facing the climate change. Not answering to that is like stealing from your own children. But it's not only a problem, we can turn this also into an opportunity. We can make this one of the biggest new areas of innovation. Biggest wealth will be created in new energy and environment technology. So are you going to be a pioneer, or are you going to be a follower in this shift, which is absolutely happening? Everyone will have to react to it. Second, there is a global welfare gap. We must not forget that while we are speaking here, 50,000 people die every day for easily preventable causes. Every 3 seconds, a child dies while we are talking here. We may have some problems, we think, but we have food, we have something to drink, we have high-class problems. We cannot go through 2009 but at the cost of the poorest in the whole world. We cannot let them down now. For example, the promise that was made already in the 70s, 0.7 of GDP as development aid, cannot be given up now. It's actually as little as to ask that, could you consider of giving 0.7% of your time about caring about others? Is 99.3% enough to think about yourself? And the third theme I pick up is living as a multicultural family in peace. And I had an honor to do some very little work when Archbishop Tutu was leading the Truth and Reconciliation Council, and to see how you really can go over any conflict. There's no conflict that is frozen forever. That's what President Martti Ahtisaari says. And another line he uses, I had a chance to work as his advisor, and he's been a peace negotiator